You're seeking clarity, craving deeper alignment, and hoping to tune into guidance that truly feels divine. And sometimes your inner world is so noisy that even when answers come, you question if they're truly from a higher source. If you've ever felt stuck between knowing and doubting, this is your activation point. And together we'll move from confusion to confident connection. You'll learn to recognize when divine wisdom flows, and more importantly, how to make space for it every single day. So, how do we recognize when we are in divine flow? Well, divine wisdom doesn't shout, it whispers. And often, when you're caught in the whirlwind of life, it's easy to miss that quiet inner voice. But the truth is, divine flow is always present. It shows up in nudges, in synchronicities, in sudden clarity that seems to arrive out of nowhere. And recognizing that flow begins with the willingness to listen differently. You don't need to chase big signs. You only need to notice the subtle ones already appearing around you. And when I first began to attune to divine messages, I expected them to be loud and unmistakable. What I realized instead is that they often felt like soft echoes in my heart. They resonated rather than shouted. You might recognize divine flow as a feeling of deep knowing, a calm certainty that doesn't need proving. It could be an unexpected idea that brings peace, or a phrase that repeats in your mind at just the right time. That is divine communication. So start to keep track of what resonates. And when you feel those goosebumps, or a soft wave of emotion, or a warmth in your chest after hearing something, note it down. Those physical cues are often how the divine communicate. You can even begin to ask questions inwardly, then pay attention to what arises in the hours or the days that follow. It may not be instant, but the more you expect answers to come, the more you create room for them. Don't underestimate the ordinary. A conversation with a stranger, a song on the radio, or even a phrase in a book can be divine breadcrumbs. If you allow everything to be a potential message, you'll begin to witness how often you are being guided. Divine wisdom flows to those who watch for it, not those who wait in frustration. Let your days become a treasure hunt for those golden threads. So how do we create sacred stillness? Well, sacred stillness isn't about isolating yourself or silencing every thought. It's about cultivating moments where the noise around you loses importance. And these moments allow divine whispers to be heard more clearly. Stillness isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of awareness. You begin to hear not just with your ears, but with your soul as well. And this space invites divine wisdom to settle and be known. And one of the most powerful things I ever did was to designate a time each day to simply be. No journaling, no affirmations, just presence. Sitting in that quiet became a doorway. At first it was awkward. My mind wanted to fill the silence with to-do lists and worries. But with gentle persistence, I noticed something shift. My breath became an anchor. The silence began to feel like a friend. And within that sacred quiet, guidance began to trickle in like water through a stone. To create this space, choose a corner in your home that feels calm. It could be a chair by the window or a small cushion with a candle nearby. Just make it yours. Add textures or scents that relax you. And when you sit there, leave all agendas behind. You're not there to fix everything. You're just open. Set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes or less if you can't do that long, and let yourself return to breath whenever your thoughts wander. That's all. And over time, this stillness becomes sacred. It becomes the soil from which divine guidance grows. You'll find that answers begin arriving outside of those moments too. But it's the stillness that roots you. It's the pause that aligns your energy with something greater. Divine wisdom needs somewhere to land. If your day is filled to the brim, it has nowhere to rest. Your stillness is an invitation. Don't be discouraged if nothing happens at first. The sacred doesn't perform on demand, but it always responds to intention. Keep showing up and let your energy, and with your energy, you'll begin to shift. You'll not only hear more, you'll trust more. And in that trust, divine wisdom finds its way through. So trusting what comes through is often the hardest part. You may sense something deeply, yet doubt yourself the moment after. You wonder, is this me or something greater? The mind wants proof, but the soul recognizes truth in feeling. Learning to trust means letting go of the need for certainty and leaning into resonance. It's about recognizing that divine wisdom feels peaceful, even when it challenges. And when I began trusting the messages I received, I started small. I acted on gentle nudges. I spoke the words that rose in my heart during conversations. I followed ideas that sparked light inside me. And the more I did this, the more confirmations came. Sometimes it was a person telling me that was exactly what they needed to hear. And other times, the path unfolded in ways I couldn't have planned. Trust grew through experience. You can begin by noticing when a message feels different. Divine insights often arrive suddenly and bring clarity or peace. They don't rush or confuse. And if something lingers gently in your awareness or continues to surface, that's worth trusting. Write it down, speak it aloud, give it form. The more you honor it, the more space it has to deepen. One practice I use is asking for confirmation, not because I don't trust, but because I welcome collaboration. I might say, if this is truly guidance, let it be affirmed in a gentle way today. Then I release it. Often something will align, a symbol, a phrase, a person that mirrors the message back to me. And this builds trust naturally. It builds the unseen. It makes the unseen feel seen. Trust doesn't mean blind faith. It means openness. You're allowed to be discerning, but don't dismiss what feels true simply because it doesn't make sense yet. Divine wisdom often speaks ahead of time. It prepares you for what's unfolding. Trust invites the relationship to grow. And when you treat divine messages as valuable, they come more freely. You become a trusted receiver, a sacred bridge. So how do we make it a daily practice? So turning connection into a daily practice doesn't require hours of ritual. It's about creating intentional moments through your day where divine communication is welcomed. When something becomes part of your rhythm, it stops being another task and starts being a way of being. That's when transformation becomes sustainable. I begin each morning with a simple practice. And before checking messages or stepping into the day's momentum, I place my hands on my heart and ask, what do I need to hear today? And then I listen. Sometimes words come, sometimes just a feeling. Either way, I honor it. And that small act sets a tone for the day. It reminds me I'm never walking alone. And throughout the day, I'll often pause and breathe and ask again. This creates an ongoing dialogue. You can weave divine connection into everyday actions. While making tea, you might ask for clarity. During a walk, you can notice what nature is showing you. And before bed, you can reflect and ask what the day was teaching. These aren't ceremonies, they're invitations. They turn the ordinary into sacred space. One tool I found helpful is keeping a divine wisdom journal. This isn't about writing everything down perfectly. It's a space to record messages and insights and signs. And over time, patterns emerge. You'll start seeing themes or directions and affirmations that keep you aligned. And this practice strengthens your spiritual memory. It reminds you of the guidance you've received when doubt creeps in. Another beautiful way to make it daily is to offer gratitude for any guidance that comes. Whether clear or subtle, expressing thanks keeps your channel open. Gratitude creates more receptivity. It lets the divine know you are listening, that you value the exchange. This mutual respect deepens the relationship. Your daily practice is yours to shape. Don't worry if it looks different from anyone else's. What matters is your intention. If you create space for connection, connection will come. Bit by bit, this becomes less about practice and more about identity. You're someone who listens, who receives, and who trusts. So living in divine alignment means letting divine wisdom shape not just your moments, but your direction. It means decisions come from connection, not fear. It's when your values, choices, and actions reflect the truths you receive. This isn't about perfection, it's about integrity. You begin to walk in harmony with what you know deep inside to be right for you. There was a time I hesitated to live fully aligned. I feared it would cost me relationships, or security, or control. But what I found is the more I aligned, the more things either fell into place or gently fell away. Divine alignment clears the path. It doesn't always make life easier, but it does make it more true. And when you're guided by the divine, you start to experience peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. To live aligned, start by revisiting decisions. through your inner knowing. Ask, does this feel like it expands me or does it contract me? Divine wisdom always leads towards growth. Even if the steps feel vulnerable, trust that inner signal. If something feels forced, it's likely not aligned. If it feels light and clear, even if it's challenging, it often is. You might also notice alignment through your body. When you're aligned, your energy feels lifted. Your body feels lighter. You move through your day with more ease. When misaligned, there's heaviness and resistance and fatigue. So tuning into these cues helps you course correct before you drift too far from center. Living in alignment also means being willing to act, and receiving wisdom is one part, but embodying it is where transformation happens. Speak the words you're given. Follow the leads you're shown. Decline what no longer fits. Celebrate what rises in truth. Each action deepens your alignment and confirms your trust. And lastly, divine alignment often opens new paths. Opportunities arise that match your energy. Relationships deepen or evolve. You feel more at home with yourself. That's the gift of this journey. And when you live aligned, you live empowered. And the divine flows through every part of your being, not just your rituals. It becomes who you are.